What's going on, everybody? PJ here. Out here playing. I got yesterday messed around a little bit with my antenna. I got a Mfj-1982 HP that just pretty much all of a sudden SWR just went really high on everything. So I got out, checked my coax connectors, all that stuff, put the analyzer to it, checked it all. Everything from here back seemed to be good. So I got to thinking about that wire. They got a 16 gauge wire for the antenna. We had a snow a couple weeks back that I can't turn it this way because of the sun. Sun will be right in your eyes. But that wire's 40 foot up in the air in the middle. It was 10 foot off the ground before, and I've got weights on the other end, but I guess they just got up there, stopped or whatever, and so I was thinking stretch. So what I did is I got out here and actually started cutting off some of it with the analyzer, and I got the SWR right back where I wanted it, really good. But I just don't know if I trust that wire. So I got some 12 gauge here, and I've got it doubled right now. This is I'm gonna cut it a little long since this is my first time ever doing this. So I've got it marked down there on the sidewalk down at the other end. I've already put my loading coil in that side, 78 inches from the end, and it's wrapped 6 times just like this one. And so we're gonna see what happens. I'm gonna up the gauge to 12 gauge and go from there. I'm hoping to make it a little bit more robust. I wish I didn't have to do that. I probably should have just spent the money and got a better one to start with. But you know how that goes. You try to save money, you end up spending money. So, but this is what I got so far. I'm getting ready to cut it off, and I got to go get the antenna down and solder the ends on the connector on here to go to the antenna. But I'll check back with y'all here after a while, see where I'm at, what I got going on. It's actually warming up out here, so it shouldn't be too bad. And we'll see just how good I can get this thing beefed up just a little bit. Like I say, I mean, I don't know if you can see it. You can see the glare of it right there. It's right there. See that little. But anyway, I'll come back after a while there, and we'll see what happens. I'm gonna go get the ladder out and get up there and take that down, because I'm gonna have to work on it on the ground. So, but we'll get to it. Maybe I'll be back here in just a little bit. My little system that holds the antenna. The antenna's coming up over the tree, tied off over there. I got a pulley up in the top, and then this rope runs through it. So what I'm gonna do is before I take this weight off, I'm gonna take my spool of bank line here. I'm gonna tie a fisherman's knot, tie these two together. That way I can let it go up, let the antenna down, then when I get it back over I won't have as much slack laying here on the ground. So, and all I got this weight on here with is just a marlin spike hitch, so I can move it up and down it if I want. Weight on it, it takes a little bit of that. That way I can just take that out and it's loose. And I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can see it coming down. Look over right up in this area. You may see it coming down. that was a leak. You can't really see it. But anyway, end of it's almost to the ground. Pretty much is. Now I can just lay this down over here. That way I got plenty of rope. And we'll go over here and take this loose. And I got yesterday when I was cutting off pieces of it, I fixed this so it just lays straight down on top of the camper, and then I can get it back up. I'm gonna actually use the camera to pull the wire down since it was up just a little bit. So, all right, here's what I got to take loose. Okay, now, I realized though I forgot my my screwdriver. Oh, sorry, boy, my little tripod's broke. Don't want to stay. But anyway, I forgot my little screwdriver, so I'll be back with that here in just a minute. All right, I'm back. I would just take the string loose here and take this whole little thing over there, but what I'm gonna do is just pull that over and stick it through the hole and pull it back. So I'm gonna take it off like this because I got to put the other one on there anyway. So and this is what I did yesterday. I just kept taking this off and cutting off some. Today when I go to do it, I'm just gonna pull it and wrap it on itself to try to get it close. So I'll leave that laying there, and then all I gotta do is pull this back, take the transformer down, and I'll get started on that. I think everybody thinks when you're get into ham radio that you're just sitting on your butt all day talking on the radio, but this to me is what's the fun part. You're actually messing with the antenna. You probably can't hear me. There it is. I'm going to change out this wire. I don't know if you can see. See if I can get that in there. You probably ain't going to be able to tell it, but man, you can tell it's stretched quite a bit. That little 16 gauge, man, it just don't do nothing. It's just too small is what I mean. I mean, it works. See if that'll focus. And you can see if I can get it to focus. It ain't gonna focus. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's just white stretch marks all the way. So that's what we're going to change out. Balance good, so transformer, whatever you want to call it. But we'll get started. All right, I thought I was recording, but I don't guess I was. But anyway, I redid this coil because the one I got was too big. It's supposed to be 1 inch. And I thought it looked big when I got it. Wasn't paying no attention. And I'm not even going to redo this to show you because I ain't even going to tell you how much of a Yeah, this was to get this 12 gauge wire wrapped through these things and out these holes. But it's 6 wraps. These count as 1, so it's 5 in the middle. Like, so it'd be 1, 2, 3. So you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This makes 1. So anyway, that goes out to my antenna. This will come into the transformer. And I need 78 inches from that back to here. Measure it best I can. Be close. I don't know how perfect it has to be. And I don't think it has to be too perfect, because the one I fixed on the other one wasn't. After it broke, and it's still working good. So I've read different things. 78 inches to 8 foot, I think, something like that. So we're gonna cut it off right there. And didn't lose much wire on that one, but or I messed this one up. I lost something here, but I could probably use that for something. Anyway, jumper or barrels or something. Anyway, so now I got to go remeasure my antenna, get it cut, and then get this up to the get this end hooked to the transformer here. And it's just going to be just a little connector that hooks straight onto this little tab right here, or this little bolt. So we'll get that on and see. I'm probably going to have to water out these holes on this thing a little bit too, so I might need to change a little bit of what they got here. I might move them over a little and make them so that, afraid to make them too much bigger. We'll see what happens, because I don't want this end to get brittle or thin and break off. But I'll get started on that and get ready to put this thing up here after a while. I'll tell you what, that little coil right there, whew, man, that was rough. I can see why they use 16 gauge. I'll go ahead and sit here and do this. I've already tinned this. I need to get my strippers here. Stripper, probably drill bit. Water that out. I would use that big one, but this one right here is about junk. It don't solder nothing like I want it to. So we'll use this one. Hopefully I don't get too hot. Try to tin that just a little. Put something on the tip. That's a bit much of a soldering gun for what I'm doing. Like I say, this one right here, I've got an old one in there that's probably better than that one. But let's see, I need the drill. I'm hoping that don't take too much material out of there. Sliding them up just a little. And I might do that just to some sharp edges off of it. What you gotta do is actually take this and you gotta put it through here back up through here. I'm not wanting to kink this a whole lot yet. I'm wanting to just get it through. Because what I do is get it through and then solder the end on it. And then pull it back through. So I'm going to try to leave that where it's, I don't want to bend it. Don't have a small hole connector. I wish I did. This one might be a little big. I might have to get a. I've already tinned this in. I did that a while ago. Now, I'm not a professional. Let's see, I'm hoping that little end, I'll let that cool down just a little. That's a little hot. Not a professional. I might have to find a washer. So what I'm going to do is pull that back through. No, it works. What I'm going to do is actually leave a little bit of it down. I'm going to get my wrench here, my pliers. Tighten that down. My universal pliers. I use these for everything. That's there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually push some of this back through and create kind of a little rain drip. Like they didn't have it, and all the water that was running down the line would come like right here and then get right on this. That should at least help keep it from getting right on that terminal. Not that it would affect a whole lot, but you know. So now, it looks something like that right there. All right. So that's it. Now I gotta go measure it, and then, I mean, I'm gonna cut it longer than what I need anyway. So make sure all this stuff's unplugged. I shouldn't need that no more. That looks good. As long as my solder holds up. My big professional soldering job. And that's it. But man, that's a lot beefier than that little 16 gauge they had on there. But alright. Boy, I'll be ready to get this up there. So I'm gonna have to take this and my screwdriver. Alright, everybody. Finally to the end to show you what I got. and this is all on paper. And I just went through one. You know, I went up throughout the band to see where it went higher, where it went lower. So I just focused around these because most of these are around general, and I'm still good in the extra. So when I get my extra, it'll still be good. Of course, once it stretches, it might change a little. But so that's, and you can't change like 20 meters. If you lengthen it, it'll change this one, but it's also going to change 17 meters and on down, you know. So like when I went up here to try to make this one, when I shortened it to try to make this one better, it made this one go back up. So you got to live with a little on the Mfj, you know, so because you're doing so many bands. So I'm under a 2-to-1 on everything. 10 meters, I'm really kind of shocked that it's actually under 3-to-1. But anyway, and I've got my radio set up, my RTTY on all the bands, and I'm just those same frequencies that I showed you. There wasn't anybody on them throughout the thing except for 7.200, and I'm just going to tell you, I really don't care to do it to those guys because they're just putting a bunch of crap on there anyway. But anyway, right here I've got it 50 watts, and that's on 80 meters, under a 2-to-1. And hopefully, I don't know if that, see if I can get that up, maybe focus a little. Under a 2-to-1. So let's go down the bands, and I got it in RTTY, so that way it'll throw my carrier. I don't have to identify. So if you're wondering about lost the camera, yeah, these guys on here, yeah, they're awful. But on 40 meters, it's about a 1.2, something like that. I wish they'd focus on that. I don't know why it won't. But anyway, we'll get off of them and just show you what I got. There might be somebody on that. Now, we'll go down just a little. It actually sounds like a data of some sort, but well, actually I need to be in my general. So we'll go up here. See it? And I've got the bypass, it's not got the tuner on, so just barely is moving, about a 1.1. 18 is going to be a little bit worse. That one's under a 2. I don't know why they don't want to focus on that. Anyway, you get the picture. It's under a 1.5. And like I say, I've moved them to where they're all the best I can get them without making one way worse than the other. So this antenna, when it's advertised, that was probably about a 1.7. And when it's advertised for under a 2-to-1. Boy, I don't know why it does that sometimes. And focus camera. And 10 is my worst, but it's under a 3. And the reason I know, let's get out of that. Oh, whoops. If anybody's on here, it'd be Roger and him. Just because my radio will let me tune it up. Because before, it had stretched so much, it wouldn't let me tune up with the internal tuner, so. But that's that. Didn't learn much, but at least show you the steps I had to take to actually get that changed out and better. It's definitely more robust. It's a lot heavier than the other one. It's probably a little more noticeable than the other one. Because, I mean, you're going from a 16 gauge wire to a 12 gauge wire. And I don't know if you can even see it with this thing, but I still got it up. I can't even see it. But there it is, and it's got a little more sag in it than the other one, but that's probably good because I think that's what stretched my other one, was getting too much of that sag out. So, but that's it, man. It's been a pretty beautiful day out here. It's getting a little chilly now, though. Once that sun goes down behind that mountain over there, get cold a little bit. But you can see the mountains in the background pretty good. But that's it, man. Just out playing with the antenna, learning anyway. I ain't no professional, like I say. That's my first time ever actually doctoring on an antenna. So, I mean, other than when it broke and I put the connector up, that wasn't that big a deal. And then I shortened the other one, got the SWR really good, and figured, you know, I'm gonna beef it up. So that's what I did. But y'all have a good one, man. It's beautiful out here. A little panoramic for you. Y'all have a good one.